Our clothes can say a lot about who we are. The colors and styles that we choose to reflect our inner personality, and for some people, their clothes are an art statement. And for others, their clothes are high-tech tools they can use for their daily tasks. Seriously, some pieces of clothing can make us look as if we just stepped out of a sci-fi movie. In today's video, we'll be looking at 20 items of clothing that you'll want to buy. Our first entry is clothes that change color. Don't you wish you could easily change your clothes without having to take them off? Well, aside from being all gross and stinky, that actually is possible with these clothes that change color. It's a design firm called The Unseen, and they mix fashion with science. This makes it possible for us to change the colors of our clothes by using our phones. I'm not going to get into the science behind it because I don't understand it myself, but hey, it's cool. Our next entry is seamless clothing. According to fashion designers, seamless is the future. And what does that mean? It means no stitches or seams, which is something we've already been seeing in fitness clothing. Now, the purpose of seamless clothing is to make everything more comfortable and easier to put on. But will the weather be always friendly for this type of clothing? Well, if it rains, you can always wear the next item on this list. That being the jackets that control the temperature. One of the more annoying things about wearing jackets is that the weather is not always the same. One moment you're cold, and then you get all warm, and then you get all sweaty, and then you get all annoyed. But with these jackets, your body can adapt to the temperature outside without having to worry about taking off the jacket. And if that wasn't enough, you can even transfer your body temperature data to the thermostat at home, so you can automatically walk into whatever temperature is the most comfortable for you. Pretty crazy, but I don't think I'd go that far. I don't like the idea of being able to control my house or someone else. Our next entry is far more terrifying sounding, the spider dress. After more than a year of social distancing, many people around the world learn to appreciate their personal space. And if you're one of these people who feel that way, then you'll probably like the idea behind the spider dress. This thing has animatronic mechanical limbs that respond to external stimuli. They automatically extend to defend your personal space in the middle of stressful moments, kinda like rush hour. But if you're approached during a calmer time of the day, the limbs won't respond so aggressively. No guarantee someone isn't gonna kick your butt for being poked with a mechanical limb though. Our next entry is the solar windbreaker. Since alternative energy is pretty much everywhere, then it shouldn't surprise you that you can even find solar panels on your clothes. This includes the solar windbreaker. What exactly do you do with that solar energy? Well, you can charge your phone for starters, or even your laptop if you spend enough time under the sun to get enough energy to charge it. Truly, we're living in the future. Our next entry is somewhat similar: energy-powered clothes. That solar windbreaker is not the only piece of clothing that you can use to charge your devices. Phone charging coats have been available for a while, and recently Tommy Hilfiger made a jacket that has a portable battery and some solar panels on the back, and a Dutch designer did the same with a very stylish t-shirt. Since people are always on their phones, it makes sense to have these items. Our next entry is the backpack jacket. Many people enjoy traveling with any bag, so they'll enjoy this jacket that can act as a backpack when you're on the road. Are you cold? Well, just use your backpack to cover yourself, they would say. Is it time to go? Great, put everything in your jacket, they would also probably say. It has a pocket for your sunglasses, another for a blanket, for your passport, a neck pillow, an iPad pocket, a portable charger, and it even has a pocket for your drinks. Now, if we get some cargo pants in there, purses will be obsolete. This backpack jacket will make traveling easier and practical, and the best thing about it is that people won't be able to tell you're carrying all your stuff with you. They'll just see that you're wearing a simple, light jacket. Our next entry is the SUPERPLEX powered clothing. Exercising sure is fun and good for our health, but all of that fun can go away as soon as you injure yourself. Then you gotta run and get that pack of ice to treat yourself and recover. But SUPERPLEX powered clothing is about to change all that. You can wear these clothes as part of your recovery therapy after getting injured. Sure sounds like the future of clothing is going to be very mindful about keeping us healthy and energized while also making us look very good. Our next entry is changing wearables. Are you someone who cares about what other people think? Well, you should be yourself regardless of what others think. But still, you might find these wearables useful as they respond and change according to the way other people look at you. It's a new technology that is quite entertaining and useful for anyone who likes to have different looks throughout the day. Our next entry is the ENFLUX and the digital trainer. Exercising is good for us. It keeps us healthy and it can distract our mind from the stress we face every day. But I get it, everyone is different and some routines are not meant for everyone. We all have to go at our own pace. But now, imagine what it'd be like if your clothes could inform your trainer about your specific needs. Well, that's exactly what the ENFLUX exercise clothes do. The clothes scan your body and then send 3D images to a digital trainer so you can have a unique training experience that meets your fitness needs. Pretty neat, am I right? Our next entry is shifting styles. It might take us a while for us to get our hands on clothes that shift in shape, but it is something that is continually being researched by fashion brands. In the future, we can expect to see sleeves that lengthen, clothes that change color, and silhouettes that can get wider or slimmer, all thanks to molecular technology. In addition to the changing ports and temperature control, it seems like our clothes will do a lot for us, more than just covering our skin. Our next entry is the synthetic bioskin dress. The synthetic bioskin dress is made of biomaterials that can keep you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. This keeps you from wasting money and resources on getting new clothes for different seasons. That's why many people consider this type of clothing environmentally friendly. Our next entry is the WELT. What exactly is the WELT? Well, it's a smart belt, and what that means is that the belt becomes something more than just an accessory. It'll be able to provide health information to its owner and keep track of their well-being throughout the day.
You have the belt set for many when you need it set for wumbo.
Is basically what this belt is trying to say. Our next entry is the KINEMATICS-BASED dress. The people who made this dress invented the new technology just to make it happen. It's made out of thousands of flower petals that were 3D printed from nylon plastic. They are linked together in a way that makes it look as if it's a long piece of continuous textile. The dress can be customized according to the body of the person who's wearing it, and the petals can be put in different directions, lengths, and shapes to create different looks. Our next entry is the Nike self-lacing shoes. A long time ago, self-lacing shoes were only a dream that was put into our minds by movies like Back to the Future. But now they're a reality. Nike made 89 pairs of these shoes to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the popular film. 89 pairs are almost nothing in comparison to all the people who would love to wear something like this, but let's hope that Nike and other brands continue making these types of shoes to save us time and keep us trendy. Or, go with Velcro straps. I find those pretty neat. Our next entry is Fifth Element inspired clothes. The Fifth Element is a sci-fi movie that came out in 1997 and gave us an idea of what fashion would be like in the future. In the movie, we can see Mia Jovovich wearing underwear as outerwear, which he says was a bit awkward. However, now there are many people who like the costumes invented by fashion designer Jean-Paul Gaultier. He made 1,000 of those clothes for the movie, but now he's probably going to have to make thousands more, perhaps even millions of them for the new generations who love his idea. Our next entry is Smart Jeans. It all started with smartphones, but in the future we'll probably have smart jeans. It's not stupid at least. Google and Levi's are working together on something called Project Jacquard. Their purpose is to make jeans that can free us from having to use our phones all the time. And with their jeans, we'll be able to do things like call an Uber, silence our phones, or even turn the lights on or off, without having to touch our phones even. As of now, the idea might sound a bit lame and a bit hard to imagine. I mean, how could you do all those things with your clothes? And also, what about when you need to wash your clothes? How does that work? Our next entry is Smart Jackets. Jeans are not the only piece of clothing that Google and Levi's are trying to transform. They want to do the same thing to our jackets as well. With their Project Jacquard collaboration, these two companies want to give us smart jackets so we can answer phone calls by simply tapping our sleeves. It's a bit hard to imagine all of these things, considering that people are always holding their phones anyway. But I guess things will change once we're able to put the phones away and allow our clothes to do the work for us. Now it's time for the day's best pick. The future looks pretty promising with all these fashion options. Suddenly, stuff that was only possible in sci-fi movies are going to be part of our lives, and the picture I chose for today shows some that are hard to damage. So far, the only shoes I mentioned are the self-lacing shoes from Nike, but there's another pair of shoes that I want to talk about. That being said, living shoes. At first sight, fashion and science are quite distant from each other. Science is all about getting messy and doing experiments to get results. Meanwhile, fashion is all about looks, reflecting our inner personalities through the clothes that we wear, and also just generally being snooty. However, when science and fashion work together, great things can happen. That is the case of these BioTrainers, a pair of running shoes that are 3D printed from biological materials and can repair themselves while you sleep. Since they're 3D printed, they're made to fit the exact size of the user's foot. It'll be like having a second layer of skin around your feet, creepily enough. In a way, what the scientists are doing is creating artificial microorganisms that respond to heat, light, and pressure so your feet can perform well regardless of where you are and what activity you're practicing. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Our last entry is the Mars spacesuit. If we're planning to live on other planets in the future, then we'll probably have to change the way we dress. There's no way we can survive on Mars with those shorts and t-shirts that we wear during the summer. I wouldn't worry too much though. NASA's got our backs, and they'll probably let us buy their Mars spacesuit. There's already a prototype for it, which will be used by astronauts once they start landing on the red planet. I just hope they eventually find a way for us to be there without having to wear a helmet all the time. If I'm gonna live on another planet, I want to be comfortable. Otherwise, I'd rather stay here on Earth and wait until all those sci-fi inspired clothing lines start releasing all those crazy clothes that we've seen in movies. The future looks pretty crazy, and I'm not sure I'm ready to wear most of the things I mentioned today, unless they make a fully working Venom symbiote, of course. But what about you? Did you find something you like? Which of these items would you buy? Let us know in the comment section down below. With all that said and done, that's our video for today, folks, and I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.